Hey everybody, welcome to a special Track Limits episode where we are going to reflect on the Bahrain Grand Prix that just ended a few hours ago.
I know.
We're going to go through quite a bit here, but what a race. I mean, we had obviously the Red Bulls come out on top. Verstappen looked like nothing could really stop him. Didn't look like he even made a mistake the whole race.
They dominated the entire
11,
race.
12 seconds ahead of his teammate Sergio Perez that comes in second.
Yeah, he's running away with it.
Running away. You have third place to Fernando Alonso.
That was wild.
I mean, I would have said who would have predicted it, but they've just looked strong, it seems, like whole testing period as well as in practices.
But it's also good to see a new team up there battling.
Yeah.
Correct. And then we had our usual suspects. We had Carlos Sainz in fourth. We had Hamilton in fifth. We had Lance Stroll, who put in a pretty admirable performance to get to sixth.
Especially what he's been through.
With his hand, with surgery
his toes,
12 days ago.
One
his
toe.
toe
I don't even know how many
couple
toes.
toes.
Like,
Yeah.
there were a couple of
There
toes,
was at least
maybe.
one toe, we can confirm. And then there's George Russell, Bottas, Gasly, and Albon that close out the top 10 with Joe taking the fastest lap.
Go on,
And
Joe.
3 DNFs with Oscar Piastri. We had Ocon and we had Leclerc.
Yeah, what was going on with
the
McLaren?
DNF. I know. Well, let's unpack that. Let's unpack that.
Yeah.
All right, let's first just start off.
I mean,
though.
I'm wearing their colors.
You're wearing the color.
I am supporting.
Yeah.
I thought that would bring in some energy.
Yeah.
But it's got. There's a lot more to the sport than I
Let's start
assumed.
though. Let's start with Feven. Let's start with your general thoughts on the race. Though, like, tell us when you were watching this race, what did you feel? Were you happy? Were you sad? Were you confused? Like, what did you feel?
I was really very excited because the season has started. And I feel like we've been just like leading up to this for the last few weeks, especially with track limits and everything. So that was exciting. I mean, it was a great race. It not too many things happened where I was on the edge of my seat. Obviously, like Verstappen, Checo, they're just kind of running away with it. So it was a great race. Oh, okay race.
Yeah,
it was okay.
Mikey, you
I think
agree?
that's how I feel.
Yeah, the start was interesting. By midway through, I think we all knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
The big surprises would be Aston Martin.
Yeah.
And don't forget Williams.
Yes.
Like Albon, points, and Logan Sargent right there as well.
Let's go.
Yeah.
If you're listening to the audio, by the way, I'm wearing a Williams jersey to support Logan this whole season. But yeah, sorry. Continue.
And then just complete another disappointment with McLaren.
Yeah.
Like, I know I seen Piastri had the steering wheel issues, like at Microsoft up there or something. The wheel just wasn't on, but I don't know what happened Lando.
Yeah, 6 pit stops for Lando.
Yeah,
He had the most pits out of anybody, and they didn't even call in the car. He
just
finished
went.
the race all the way through, which is pretty great.
Maybe they're testing other...
Maybe.
But like Zach Brown's got to be feeling the pressure after that. This is opening weekend.
Yeah.
One car DNF'd.
Yeah.
And then the other car's back to grid.
And we were joking. I mean, Daniel Ricciardo in the Red Bull garage probably laughing, smiling. I don't know.
I think it'd still be better to drive than be in the garage.
That's fair.
But
That's fair.
I mean, maybe he's regretting not having had chats with Williams.
Yeah.
I think, Williams definitely outperformed my predictions.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if you want to go on a sliding scale, you've got Aston Martin, Williams. They're the two most improved visually that you can see without looking too much into the data.
Yeah.
And then don't forget Bottas and Zhou.
Yeah.
They're right there. And they were silent during practice or during preseason testing.
Yeah.
You didn't hear much about them.
Yep. And even didn't do well in qualifying. I mean, Bottas didn't even make it to Q3.
Yeah.
So there were some good kind of gained spots there. Let's talk about Esteban Ocon. It's probably the most worst moments came from the 3 penalties that he had to serve. 15 seconds, I think, at the last one.
He thought he was collecting tickets to win a prize at the end of this.
I was like, is there a bingo that and like he wins?
Literally.
Yeah.
I mean, but could you go from Q3, where, I think he started 8th or 9th.
Yeah, he was up there.
Right, he was up there to then really kind of finishing behind his teammate, who was starting off 20th, Gasly, going all the way up to 9th. I mean, what a switch.
Yeah, I know Fernando won driver of the day, but in my eyes, Gasly.
Correct.
I mean, go from P20,
20, yeah.
and then he ended 9th?
9th.
Wow.
Yeah.
Go on, Gasly.
Yeah. New team, new car, so he adapted well. Let's just put it that way.
100%.
He's hungry as well. He wants to prove that, like, maybe it's not Ocon's the lead driver. Maybe he wants to prove his
And we were
worth.
talking about that. Who is the lead driver? I mean, we also said coming in probably Esteban because of the experience driving the car, but I mean, one race and you already have Gasly with more points, so...
Yeah, like, you give it a couple of more races and the points are, like, staggered where it's in Gasly's Ocon, then team favourite's Gasly.
Fair enough. What was the best moment in the race for you guys? What did you enjoy the most? What made you smile the most, maybe?
I think there was probably 12 laps in, I thought, okay, this season, I think I'm here for the midfield race. I think that was it. I was really excited to see like new, obviously I'm sad to see Mercedes in like kind of that battle. Obviously it's too early to say where things are going or where things will land. But I think it was just nice to see some new teams faces. And I was like, oh, like this is going to be really, I think Red Bull obviously are just in a league of their own, but the midfield is going to be exciting.
Mikey?
I'd say like we're used to in F1 the DRS train where everyone overtakes in DRS. Alonso was trying to do the wildest moves in corners. He nearly clipped Sainz in the rear wheel. He nearly clipped Lewis. He had to correct himself, but that was exhilarating to watch. It wasn't on the main straight with DRS. So I'm looking forward to more of that because Alonso's bold. He knows where to push.
And you love seeing Alonso race. I mean, even the battle he had with George Russell where he gave space to George Russell to go on his left. I mean, that's just fair, hard racing.
Oh yeah, it's hard racing.
That's what we enjoy to watch.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved seeing Fernando.
The oldest man on the track doing the most like bullish moves. That I'm so excited for Fernando's new era.
You think Vettel was sitting on the sideline being like, maybe I should have stayed one more year?
Who?
Vettel.
Oh. Yeah.
Like last year, he was competing to get into the points. Alonso's like on podium.
So, and clearly the car's fast. I mean, the car's fast. I think going into the race, there was a graph that we all saw where the straights were kind of Red Bull's forte, but the corners, there were certain corners where Aston Martin was picking up way more speed going out of a corner. So that's pretty exciting to see, especially when you consider the next track coming up. It's Saudi Arabia. Incredibly fast, but incredibly windy as well with a bunch of high-speed corners. Should be pretty exciting to see if Fernando can get another podium. Because if he does that, oh my God, that'll be really exciting.
And don't forget, like, Stroll's only recovering from an injury. So, like,
he's not far away.
No, but he's only at probably 80% ability right now. And he's still up there. So, no, it's got to be
I mean, how do you think Ferrari will do? Because like, they're pretty good on this high-speed corners.
They were. Last year was actually their main thing was high-speed corners. Right? Is what they caught up with the Red Bull. I personally think when it comes to Ferrari, if you're a Ferrari fan, I know a lot of people are making jokes and memes. This is just a repeat. I really don't think it is. I think strategy-wise, nothing went wrong there. They did pretty fair job, I think, on the strategy side. Didn't pit anybody too early. I think they let, obviously Leclerc come on pretty good soft tires to start off the race, which did help him at the beginning when he got past Perez. But again, the Red Bulls are just too quick. So if you're trying to look at a Red Bull Ferrari title fight right away, you're going to be disappointed.
It's not.
Right now, you're going to have to look at Aston Martin and Ferrari, potentially Mercedes creeping in there, but really Ferrari and Aston Martin as kind of the battle for second. If you
that I'm excited for that race.
Don't forget.
I thought it was I thought it was going to be Ferrari Mercedes. Right. So like Aston Martin is the curveball I did not see coming.
No, I think from preseason testing we knew Aston Martin was strong.
I mean,
but everybody was just like, it's testing. That's what everybody would say.
I know, but when all the drivers start talking about how they're scared of Aston Martin, then you kind of believe the hype. But don't forget, Mercedes, like last year, they didn't have a great car, but they are very fast to adapt, bring improvement. So even though they're not up there right now, I'm still not. They're going to be there soon.
And it's good to see that the car doesn't bounce. It's good to see porpoising not being that big of an issue because they really did spend the first half of last year trying to fix that issue.
So Baku last year, Lewis couldn't get out of the car.
He couldn't get out of the car?
Yeah, he literally was broken. Like, he's on the radio being like, guys, I can't do this.
So at least the car's drivable. And again, I think George mentioned this after qualifying. He's like, at least it feels good to drive the car. I come out of it feeling happy. But in terms of performance, they're just not there yet. But they know that. And I agree. If you're a Mercedes fan, just believe that there will be some upgrades brought in, especially by Baku.
I'm hanging on.
I love that. What surprised you guys most about the race? Was there anything that just shocked you?
I didn't think McLaren be as bad.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Like how bad?
Yeah, like
it's bad.
Also, I don't think we've fully seen tire degradation because there was a lot of pit stops. Whereas in, let's say, the next race weekend, if you lose your front end grip, you're either going extremely slow or you're clipping a wall. So I think next weekend will show a little bit more. But over this weekend, I was just a little bit disappointed with McLaren.
I was surprised by Leclerc, even before the race, having had to change battery unit. So that, again, apparently, I mean, I didn't know this before because, I'm still newbie when it comes to the technical side. But the fact that you only have 2
for the whole season.
And he DNF'd. So I just don't know.
Not to mention his car decided to disintegrate in qualifying where the carbon fiber was just flying off his car. It's called a lightweight mode.
I think it's Formula God at Formula God is posting a checklist now every race off Ferrari mistakes.
Oh.
So he's already up to 3, which includes the carbon fiber coming off and qualifying, the battery change, Leclerc's car breaking down.
Yeah.
Again, though, if you're a Ferrari fan, I wouldn't read too much into it.
No.
I don't think you should read too much into it. But I do think it's ridiculous to think that they're going to go into a title fight right away.
No, yeah.
This Red Bull is an evolution of last year. And the dominance they had to win 15 races for Max last year. Mm-hmm. Do you guys think he's going to win more this year? Or is it kind of around the same or less?
Who, Max?
Max.
I think he'll probably win like 80%.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe all.
No,
Maybe all. Yeah.
no, you can't say that.
80% or all. Yeah.
I'm not bitter.
Yeah.
But
I'm bitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's looking like they're dominating right now. So yeah.
Yeah, you remember at the beginning you were like, I want a fight between Ferrari, Mercedes.
Okay, it's going to be Ferrari, Mercedes, and Austin fine, and Red Bull are just going to be as like someone tweeted today, like, do we pop the champagne before or after Sunday?
Yeah.
Red Bull, they were so confident. So
Yeah.
I know our other colleague Henny is just like he's very happy.
Oh, he's
right
loving
now.
us. And yes, Henny, by the way, could not join us. He's stuck in Tampa Bay. We were at the Indy race. But yeah, he is very happy.
Oh, I'm sure he's still
Literally,
celebrating.
the minute that Max went through the checkered flag,
Yeah.
he reposted a story right
yeah.
away.
I saw.
One other thing that kind of shocked me was George at the very beginning. And I wrote this down. You know, he wanted to potentially have some team orders come into play. You know, he was like, hey, I have a little bit more pace right now. Is Lewis only trying to manage the tires right now, or is he struggling as well? Right? And so that's interesting because Alonso comes and overtakes Russell probably 2 or 3 laps later. And then Russell doesn't even finish in the top 5. So, I mean, George Russell, I don't know.
Yeah, I thought that was wildly too early to
Like 10 laps in.
Yeah. I'm like, mate, he's figuring it out.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, it was just 10 or 12 laps in. So that was weirdly too early. I don't know what's happening there.
Could have also been like they knew there were going to be a lot of pit stops. So maybe he was just a mentality of let's like push like crazy, burn out the tires, do as many pit stops as needed, and just see what could happen versus being a little bit more strategic.
And you also do know the lead driver gets priority on the pits.
Yeah.
That's why Hamilton went into pit first, right?
True.
So maybe it was even thinking about that. I want to go in and pit first. Let me burn my tires right now.
True. It could have been a little bit, over the radio. Yeah.
Fair enough. Last thing here, what are we looking forward to next race? Jeddah. We have some hot laps, by the way, that are coming out. We already posted ours for Bahrain, so please go and check that out on our Instagram. But Jeddah, Mikey, why don't we start with you? I mean, you have a staunching hot lap for Jeddah, but I know you're also just excited about it generally. What do you look forward to?
It's such a high-speed racetrack, but also I kind of want to see what Ferrari have and Aston Martin in the downforce, because I know Ferrari last year, that was their track.
Yeah.
So again, it's too early to tell, but I think it'll be an interesting. I don't think Red Bull will run away with it again. I hope not.
Yeah.
I hope not.
Feven?
Yeah, I agree. I really want to see like a battle between Aston Martin and Ferrari. Ooh. And then I think that might be really telling of what the season to come.
Yeah. And even looking at, like you were mentioning, the midfield, do we see Williams? Do we see
Yes.
Alfa Romeo continue to
Where's
put in good
Haas?
performances? I don't know where Haas is. I think they were 15th or 16th, right?
But don't forget,
Magnussen and Nico. But
they
yeah.
both broke their front bumpers.
They did.
So I still
Oh,
don't
yeah.
think we saw their true pace. They did well in qualifying. Yeah.
Nico made it to
Yeah.
Q3. That
Yeah.
was, I mean, I don't think Magnussen got past Q1, but yeah.
No, but like Hulkenberg, he's just come back shaking off the
Yeah.
cup. Was it 2 years out?
Yeah.
2 years out,
2
and
years
like
out. Yeah.
fair play.
And he had a penalty, though. What was his penalty for again? I remember Nico. They showed a
Ooh.
penalty.
Was
He
it
did-
track limits?
It was a 5
Track
second
Yeah,
limit.
it was a track
He
limits, yeah.
exceeded track limits. Haha.
Shout out to
Anytime we see that, by the way, you know, always think about the pod. But if you are watching the race and you see track limits on the screen, please know we don't sponsor that.
It would be cool if they had our green for the track limits.
Yeah.
One day.
Manifesting.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be incredible. I am looking forward to Saudi, though. Fastest, obviously, circuit out there.
Yeah.
Very dangerous circuit. A lot of the drivers, I remember the first year they put this track in, a lot of the drivers, George even went on record to be like, this is a really tough track for a driver to drive because there's so many blind corners. Whereas a driver, if you're coming in and there's an accident in front of you, which there was, I think, 2 years ago.
Mick Schumacher, remember he split the car? That was last year.
Yeah.
Split the car.
Right. So it's like, it's hard to like know when to slow down unless the radio is really quick on it to tell you, hey, there's an incident here, slow down right away.
Because a lot of these corners are blind. Drivers are turning in even before the corner.
Exactly. So it's going to make for an exhilarating race.
Yes.
But again, hot temperatures. So tires-wise, shouldn't be too different from Bahrain, I don't think.
Question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think someone's going to have a very bad accident, or is it a little bit of fender bender?
I
And
mean,
if who?
We
What
don't
team?
pray for that, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, Feven?
I have hard to say. I don't know who.
Yeah.
I think there might be a couple of yellow flags. Like if I would just put like a bet, I would probably say like 2 yellow flags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Bahrain was clean in my eyes. Like I was expecting more.
It was only one
virtual.
Yeah.
Leclerc, and that was done in like a lap.
Yeah. Leclerc was smart. He pulled way off the track.
Yeah, which is perfect. But I think you will probably see a safety car in Saudi.
I think it's inevitable. Like, as long as it's not a bad crash.
Incredible.
Yeah. I think sometimes that's part of the like what shakes up the strategy. Like really, like when you're around a third of the way in the race and nothing's happening, you start scrolling on your phone, and as soon as a yellow flag or any flag comes out, you're like back into it. So I like, keeping me back, getting me back into the race.
For sure. Well, we're going to be there. We're going to cover that whole race after as well. Guys, drop in your comments, by the way. Was there anything we did not cover about the Bahrain Grand Prix that surprised you or that you thought was a really cool moment? And also, if you are a Ferrari fan, Mercedes fan, Aston Martin fan,
McLaren,
drop it in the comments. McLaren.
Hey, shout out Haas. Let's get Haas out there.
Drop it in the comments. We want to know kind of what team you support and what you're looking forward to this season. We are going to be back. See you guys in the next episode.